Very good morning, students. So let us continue the same example problems from the concept of probability theory. And here come the question number 53, example number 53. So till the previous video, we could solve example number 52 and now example number 53. A fair coin is tossed 4 times. Find the probability of obtaining question number 1, head in all the tosses. Question number 2, tail. So question number 2 is tail in at least one of the tosses. Tail in at least one of the tosses. This is the question. Now, as you all know that a fair coin is tossed. Usually if a fair coin is tossed, possible outcomes were 2, right? Then how many times that fair coin is tossed? 4 times. So 2 power n, that is nothing but 2 power of 4. What is 2 power of 4? 16. Got it? Now, I hope you got the exhaustive number of cases. Without writing the sample space also, exhaustive number of cases can be written directly 16. So, this 16 will become exhaustive number of cases. Now, according this, find the probability of obtaining head in all the tosses. 4 different times. A coin is tossed 4 different times, right? In those 4 different times, getting head in all the tosses. Here getting head, here getting head, here getting head, here getting head. Here also half chance, half, right? All means this and this and this and this. So definitely what would be the question here? So independent coins you have. So same coin, independent times you are tossing the coin. First time when you toss the coin, getting head up here 1 by 2. Second time when you are tossing the coin, getting head 1 by 2. Third time 1 by 2. Fourth time 1 by 2. Clear? 4 different times you are tossing. That means probability of A intersection B intersection C intersection D is nothing but P of A into P of B into P of C into P of D. Got it? Just multiply all those 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 into 1 by 2. So what would be the answer? 1 by 16. This is question number 1. So heads in all the tosses, right? So first time when it is tossed, 1 by 2 is the head probability. Second time 1 by 2, third time 1 by 2, fourth time 1 by 2. Then definitely A and B and C and D. Here A be the first time tossing a coin, B be the second time tossing a coin, C be the third time, D be the fourth time. Clear guys? Now this is the question 1 by 16. Now look at the second one now. Tail in at least one of the tosses. At least one. At least one means minimum one. Maximum. How many tosses can it possible? All the 16 also is possible. Exhaustive, right? So, probability of at least one tail. This can be taken as 1 minus of no tails can be taken or not. Isn't it? Possibility of getting tail and possibility of not getting tail together is equals to 1. Total probability. So at least 1 means here we can take it as P of greater than or equal to 1 or no. 1 time tossing or n number of times tossing. Instead of that, 1 minus of P of no tails. P of no tails means 1 minus of P of all heads can be taken or not. Clearly you see, P of all heads. 1 minus of P of no tails, nothing but 1 minus of P of all heads. Isn't it? No tails is nothing but all heads only might have been appeared. Isn't it? So 1 minus of all heads are here. The probability 1 by 6. So 1 minus 1 by 16. If you do, how much it will become the answer? 15 by 16. I hope I am clear guys. Try to understand. Second question. Here the question is asked, tail in at least one of the tosses. So usually tail appears how many? Just like a head. Tail appears also 1 by 16 only, getting one first time tail 1 by 2, second time tail 1 by 2, third time 1 by 2, fourth time 1 by 2. Total together 1 by 16 only, getting all tails. Here at least one tail they are asking. One tail means 1 to all. In that, from the total probability, if you remove no tails are nothing but all heads appeared. So 1 minus of all heads probability is 1 by 16. 1 minus of 1 by 16, you get 15 by 16. Clear guys? So this is example number 53. No confusion, very straight question it is. So let us see example few more examples now. Look at the next question. Out of 5 persons, 2 are graduates and 2 persons are randomly selected from those 5 persons. See here, out of 5 persons, 2 are graduates it seems. That doesn't mean that the remaining are also graduates. 2G, I mean 2G in the sense 2 are graduates. That means 3 are non-graduates. Yes or no guys? Then 2 persons are randomly selected. Find the probability that at least one of the selected persons is a graduate. This person is a graduate. At least one. That means 1 or 2. Both must be a graduate. What that is the probability they have asked. Do you understand the question guys? Out of 5 persons, 2 are graduates it seems, 3 are non-graduates, and among these 5 persons, 2 are randomly selected, right? So when 2 people are selected at random, what is the probability that the selected person must be a graduate? At least one they are asking. At least one means minimum one person must be a graduate or both can be a graduates. Finally, ultimately it should be a graduate. At least one means one or both must be a graduate. It should be. That is what the probability we need to calculate. I hope I am clear diagrammatically how the problem is to be solved. First and foremost, what you need to do? Probability of at least one graduate. Probability of at least one graduate. Probability of at least one graduate means probability of 1 minus of probability of none of them are graduates. If you calculate this one, over now, 1 minus of probability of none of them are graduates. Look at here. Probability of at least one graduate means here one may be the graduate or both can be the graduate, right? Either one or both can be the graduate. 1 minus of probability of none of them are graduates. If you remove the none, I mean no graduates if you remove from the total, remaining all are minimum graduates to maximum graduates or no? Minimum is 1 and maximum is 2 because selected people are 2, right? That is what the question is asked. At least one of them selected person must be a graduate. At least one means one or more. Remember always greater than or equal to 1. So 2 are selected means greater than or equal to 1. What it will be? 1 and 2. Both will be coming. Right. Now at least 1. 1 minus of probability of none if you calculate. See here, out of 5, 2 graduates means 3 are non-graduates as I said just now. Right. So 1 minus of none of them are graduates in the sense 1 minus of no graduates. So otherwise non-graduates. 1 minus of probability of non-graduates. So 1 minus of probability of non-graduates were how many? 3. C2 by 5C2. Subtract this one. Very simple problem guys. 3C2 by 5C2. How much? 3C2 is. So 3C2 how to calculate? As I said 3 into 2 by 1 into 2. 3C2 is 3 by 5C2. 5 into 4 by 1 into 2. 2 ones, 2 twos are 5 twos are 10. So 1 minus of 3 by 10. 1 minus of 3 by 10 is nothing but 7 by 10 is the answer. Guys, are you clear? This is the question now. You understand? So very simple question. Try to understand the question here. At least one of the selected person is a graduate. At least one means probability of x greater than or equal to 1. This can be taken as greater than or equal to 1 means either 1 plus 2 both can be taken, or 1 minus of none also can be taken, isn't it? So that is what I have done. 1 minus of none of them are graduates. So non-graduates were 3. So 1 minus of none of them are graduates means from the non-graduates 3, and from the total exhaustive 5C2, remove this one from total probability. Remaining is 1 minus of 3 by 10. Guys, are you understanding this? Clear now? This is example number 54. Let us see few more examples now. Look at this question, guys. Now A, B, C hit a target with probability 0.6, 0.5 and 0.4 respectively. See, A, B, C, 3 persons hitting a target with those probabilities. So let us write those. Probability of A hitting a target is given 0.6. Probability of B hitting a target is given 0.5. And probability of C hitting a target is 0.4. Now, about hitting, the probabilities are given. But question is asked about even none of them are hitting. Not hitting also they have asked. So contradiction you write. P of A dash 1 minus of P of A 0.4. Similarly P of B 0.5. Sorry, P of B dash and P of C dash 0.6. Which possess the probability A, B, C probabilities are given which do not, which do not hit A complement A dash, B dash, C dash. So first let us take these probabilities. Question number 1, what it is asked? Find the probability that none of them hit the target. None of them hit the target. So probability of none. So none of them hit the target means P of A dash and B dash and C dash, right? P of A dash intersection B dash intersection C dash, and they tried independently. Look at there, if they hit at the target independently. Independently means P of A dash into P of B dash into P of C dash. Multiply those two, independent case. So 0.4 into 0.5 into 0.6. Contradictions, these three can be taken. You understand, guys? None of them hitting. 0.4 into 0.5 into 0.6. How much? 0.12. For 5 is 20, 26, 120. So 0.12 will be the answer for probability of none. Second question. Probability of target is hit. Target is hit means A can hit and B can hit and C can hit, or all the three can hit. So there are many possible cases, or BC can hit, or AB can hit, or AC can hit. So there are many ways that the target can hit. Instead of that, in a simple logic, 1 minus of probability of no one can hit, none. So 1 minus of 0.12, it will become 1 minus of 0.88. Very simple question, guys. So question number 1 is none of them hitting the target. P of A dash intersection B dash intersection C dash. So actually these are given. According to this, we calculated the complementary, the other event, P of A dash, B dash and C dash, which do not hit. Accordingly, probability of none of them hitting the target means who do not hit those probabilities independently, you take it, because it is the question is given both all of them hit the target independently if they hit the target independently. So this way the solution, P of A dash intersection B dash intersection C dash. Question number 2 is very interesting. Target is hit. Target is hit means how many possible ways were there? Just think. A hitting also target will hit, or B hitting also target will hit, or C hitting also target will hit, or AB hitting also target will hit, or BC, or CA, or ABC. See how many possible ways were there to hit the target? Instead of that, 1 minus of none of them hit the target you remove. All will come these only or no? So 1 minus of none. What is the none probability? 0.12. Subtract that one from total probability 1. You get the answer. So very simple logic, guys. I hope I am clear this question. Clear? Let us see few more problems now. Look at this question now. Example number 56. The probability that India wins a match is 0.6. Probability of India winning a match is given 0.6. If India plays 3 matches, find the probability that it wins. Question number 1. At least one match. At least one match means out of 3, 1 they can win or 2 they can win, and all the 3 also can win. But not none. Remember, at least one case means greater than or equal to 1. All the 3 matches they won. So A and B and C, all the 3 they won. This is the question. Now let us see the solution now for this. First, before that, only one single probability is given, India winning, but they played 3 matches. That means let A, India wins in first match, B, India wins in second match, C, India wins in third match. So 3 different probabilities. India wins the first match and India wins in second match and India wins in third match. 3 different probabilities. Therefore, P of A equals to P of B equals to P of C is nothing but 0.6, because winning probability for a match is 0.6. First match also 0.6, second match also 0.6, and third match also 0.6. Then what about the contradiction? P of A dash not winning, B dash 0.4. Clear, guys? Contradiction I have written. India not winning the match. Probability 0.4. All the 3 matches. Question number 1, what it is asked? At least one match. At least one means probability of at least one. 1 minus of probability of none can be taken or not. Same logic in the previous question what I have applied for. So at least one means A can win or B can win or C can win. I mean first match can win or third match or second or third match or second match, or first and second together or second and third together or third and first together or all the 3. So there are many possible cases. Instead of that, calculating all, 1 minus of none, I mean no matches won by India, that if you remove, remaining all are about winning only. No, about winning means at least one possibility is there or not, right? So that is the reason 1 minus of none. So 1 minus of none means 1 minus of calculate this one, 1 minus of 0.4 into 0.4 into 0.4. 1 minus of 0.4 into 0.4 into 0.4 is 0.064. So answer will become 0.946. Do you understand, guys? Question number 1. Probability of at least one match. So 1 minus of probability of none, no matches won by India if you take it. Then 1 minus of P of A dash intersection B dash intersection C dash. So that will become 0.946. Question number 2. They wins all the matches. So all matches, all wins. All wins means P of A intersection B intersection C. Multiply 0.6 into 0.6 into 0.6. What would be the answer? 0.216. This is the question. This is question number 1. This is question number 2. Guys, are you clear? So India wins a match is given probability 0.6 it seems. Winning probability is 0.6. Losing probability is 0.4. So winning probabilities A, B, C. 3 matches. Let us consider A, B first match, B second match and C is third match. So all the 3 winning probability is 0.6 and losing probability is 0.4. Then question number 1, at least one match winning they are asking about winning. So 1 minus of at least one win means either first match can be won, second match or third match or first and second or second and third or third and first and all the 3 winning. So many possible ways were there to win the match. At least one, right? At least one means one can win or all can win. So that one means 1, 2, 3, all the 3 will be coming or not. One winning or any 2 winning, either first, second or second, third or third, first, or all the 3 winning, first, second and third. So instead of calculating these many possible ways, so straight away from the total probability, remove that none of the matches won by India. If you remove that one, remaining all, minimum at least one winning will be there or no. So that is what the logic I have applied here. 1 minus of probability of none. So question number 2, probability of none means not winning probability, all the 3 you multiply it and subtract from 1. You will be getting the answer 0.946. Look at the second question. Probability of all the 3 matches winning. All the 3 matches winning means straight away 0.6 into 0.6 into 0.6 only winning. So you will be getting the answer 0.216. This is a question. Till here level 2 problems are completed. Now in the next video I am going to explain you the main important concept from entire probability chapter level 3. We are entering into level 3 now, which is a difficult task to understand the question and to solve. I cannot say that it is much difficult, but because of practice and because of lack of understanding the concept, definitely you go wrong, right? You have to practice thoroughly, understand the concept. Main thing, probability is nothing but like a live experiment. It has to be shown on your face, I mean completely in front of your face, in front of your eyes. The experiment should run whenever you see any question, then only the concept you will be understanding it. So whenever you are writing here, lively you think about whether you are really there in that experiment and then you calculate it. Then concept is very easy. Probability is not much difficult, guys. It's a logical chapter, that's it. It's a brainstorming chapter. So how you use your brain and like just stand in their experiment booths and just think about it. Really as if you are really doing that experiment. That way you should think and solve. Definitely concept you'll be understanding. So with this I'm going to wind up today's video. So let us continue the major concept, level 3 problems from probability, wherein here we will apply conditional probability, maximum conditional probability concepts it is, right? So let us calculate those. And one more thing, that all the exercise questions, anyhow very soon, I mean coming week onwards, we are going to start the regular online classes. Even we too will get online classes, right? Along with the recorded videos, even online classes also will begin. So what we shall do is, in the video classes all the examples I will be sending it, exercises videos also I will be sending it, even live classes exercise problems I will be calculating it. Remember, in live class exercise problems I will be explaining question to question. Okay, everything in live MyPal live classes, all those questions we will be doing it. Are you clear, guys? So with this I'm going to wind up today's video. I hope everybody is following the videos. Kindly refer, practice more. So definitely this concept will help you even in mathematics also. So stay healthy, stay home, stay safe. Thank you. Have a nice day, guys. Take care.